For a while now, we've been looking inward, right into the human mind. Well, today we're flipping that around. We're going to look out, as far out as it's possible to go. We're looking at the universe itself, and we're about to run headfirst into what might be the most profound and, honestly, the most unnerving question in all of science. Okay, so let's just start by building the scale of this thing, right? The universe, it's about 13.8 billion years old. I mean, that's a number so big our brains can't really even process it. That is an almost unimaginable amount of time. Plenty of time for stars to be born and die and be born all over again. Time for planets to form, to cool down, and for all kinds of complex chemistry to get going. And in all that time, the universe has produced a truly staggering amount of, well, real estate. This number, 2 trillion, is our best guess for how many galaxies there are in the observable universe. 2 trillion. And each one of those is like its own city of stars, typically holding hundreds of billions of suns. Now let's zoom all the way in. Let's just focus on our own home, the Milky Way galaxy. Based on the data we've been getting back from our planet-hunting telescopes, astronomers think there are at least 20 billion, with a B, Earth-sized planets orbiting in the habitable zone of their stars. That's the sweet spot, not too hot, not too cold, just right for liquid water to exist. That's 20 billion potential chances for life, right here in our galactic backyard. So you take all that. You take the immense age of the universe. You take the ridiculous number of galaxies. You take the billions of just right planets right here at home. You do the math. And even if you're being super, super conservative with your estimates, the conclusion just seems unavoidable. Our galaxy shouldn't just have life. It should be an interstellar metropolis, absolutely humming with activity. Think about it. If even a tiny, tiny fraction of those 20 billion planets developed intelligent life, and if a tiny fraction of those civilizations created technology, well, the night sky shouldn't be quiet. It should be a cosmic switchboard, just flooded with signals, communications, beacons, the background noise of thousands, maybe even millions of civilizations just living their lives. And so we've looked. We have pointed our biggest, most sensitive instruments at the heavens. We have been listening, really listening, for over 60 years. And in the place where we expected to hear a roar, an unbroken, profound, and, frankly, a statistically impossible silence. And this gap, this chasm between what all logic says should be out there and what we actually find, well, that's the paradox. This is the exact question that the physicist Enrico Fermi famously asked his colleagues during a lunch break back in 1950. It sounds so simple, right? But it has haunted us ever since, because it really implies one of two things. Either our entire understanding of the universe is fundamentally wrong, or something very, very strange is going on out there. So let's dig into why this silence is so strange. It's not just about not hearing radio signals. It's about not seeing anybody. See, Fermi's original thought experiment wasn't about listening, it was about showing up. It was about colonization. Just look at Fermi's original calculation. You don't even need faster-than-light travel. Imagine a civilization sends out self-replicating probes at just 1% of the speed of light, which is basically a cosmic snail's pace. Those probes find a new star system, use the local resources to build copies of themselves, and then launch again. At that slow rate, they could cover the entire Milky Way in about 10 million years, which on a cosmic scale is just the blink of an eye. So any civilization that got started, say, a billion years before us, they should be here. Their stuff should be everywhere. But we don't see any probes, we don't see any evidence of visitors at all, so we've had to turn to listening instead, straining to hear just a whisper in that great cosmic silence. Our search for extraterrestrial intelligence, what we call SETI, kicked off way back in 1960, and since then we've built bigger and better electronic ears. Today, a project called Breakthrough Listen is the biggest, most comprehensive search in history. We're even using the James Webb Space Telescope to literally sniff the atmospheres of distant planets for signs of life, like industrial pollution. And in all that searching, we have found exactly one signal that still gives us pause. So picture this. It's 1977. An astronomer named Jerry Amon is looking over data from the Big Air radio telescope, and suddenly he sees it. A powerful narrowband radio signal, blasting for 72 straight seconds, coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. It was the exact kind of signal we thought an alien civilization might send. He was so floored, he literally circled it on the computer printout and just wrote "wow" in the margin. And then It was gone. We have pointed our telescopes back to that same patch of sky thousands of times since, and it has never, ever been heard from again. So we're left with a single, tantalizing whisper in a universe that should be shouting, and it's that deafening silence that demands an explanation. And the first big category of answers, well, it's by far the most disturbing. It's an idea called the Great Filter. This was proposed by an economist named Robin Hanson. The theory basically says there must be some barrier, some step in that long, long chain of evolution from simple chemistry to a starfaring civilization that is almost impossible to overcome. A wall, a filter that almost nobody gets through. Which leads to the single most terrifying question at the heart of this entire paradox. So, where is the wall? Is that great filter behind us in our evolutionary past, or is it waiting for us in our future? Now, if the filter is behind us, it means some step we've already completed, like the jump from non-life to life, or maybe the leap to complex cells, was the ridiculously improbable event. It means we are rare, we are special, maybe we're even the first. And honestly, that's the good news. But what if the filter is ahead of us? That would mean there's something that inevitably, predictably, stops civilizations like ours from reaching the stars. Some recurring act of self-destruction. And the silence we hear from the cosmos is the silence of a cosmic graveyard. And that right there is why the philosopher Nick Bostrom wrote this chilling line. I know it seems completely backward, but the logic is terrifyingly sound. If we dig around on Mars and find evidence that simple microbial life started there all on its own, that means the origin of life is not the great filter. It means that step is easy, and the easier all the early steps are, the more likely it becomes that the filter, that deadly civilization-ending barrier, is still waiting for us. Okay, so if the great filter is about cosmic probability and cosmic doom, our next major explanation is about cosmic psychology. It's a game theory solution to the Fermi Paradox, and believe me, it is just as chilling. It's called the dark forest. This idea was popularized by the author Lucickson, and it asks you to imagine the universe as a dark forest at night. It's filled with silent hunters, and every single hunter is a potential threat to every other hunter. You have no idea what their intentions are. You can't possibly risk assuming they're friendly. Any other civilization you detect could, given enough time, become an existential threat to you. So the only logical, self-preserving strategy is to stay absolutely silent. And if you do happen to see someone else light a fire in the darkness, you eliminate them immediately before they have a chance to see you. And that is the terrifying heart of the dark forest theory. The silence we hear isn't because the universe is empty. It's because the universe is full and everyone is terrified. The silence is a deliberate, tactical choice. It's the sound of everyone holding their breath. It is the sound of survival. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. Are there any less existentially horrifying answers to Fermi's big question? Well, yes, there are. It's possible the silence isn't a sign of universal doom, but maybe just a sign that our own assumptions or maybe our methods are all wrong. There are definitely other ideas out there. You've got the zoo hypothesis, which suggests we're living in a kind of cosmic wildlife preserve, and advanced life is just observing us with a strict do not interfere policy. There's the transcension hypothesis, which argues that mature civilizations don't expand outward into space, but inward, into massively complex computational realities that we just can't detect. Or, hey, maybe it's just bad timing. The window where a civilization uses leaky, easy-to-detect technology like radio might be incredibly short. We might just be listening in the wrong century or the wrong millennium. So this is where we're left. This is the question for you. Is the Fermi Paradox evidence that we are alone? That the spark of intelligent, self-aware life is so improbable that in 13.8 billion years and across 2 trillion galaxies, it has only happened once, right here, thanks to a chain of coincidences so specific they will never repeat? Or is the silence evidence of something much more dangerous? That civilizations like ours are common, but something ends them before they can reach the stars, and that something may be just ahead of us, alone in the universe or racing toward a filter. That is day 22 on Your Dose of Wowness, and week 4 is here. We spent 3 weeks inside the human mind. This week, we go outside it, as far outside as it is possible to go. The universe is the biggest mystery this series will cover, and we are only just starting. Thank you for watching.
Every view, every comment, every person who shares these episodes with someone they think would care, it keeps this channel going and it means more than you know. Please subscribe to Your Dose of Wowness. We are here every day, and tomorrow we go even further. The wow signal, the 72 seconds from 1977 that still has no explanation. See you then.